Well, back here at home in the States, police in Detroit say they've identified persons of interest in the stabbing death of a synagogue president, but they also say there are no prime suspects in Samantha Wool's murder. They're still saying it doesn't appear to be a result of anti-Semitism. Wool was found dead outside of her home on Saturday, and about 1,000 people attended her funeral on Sunday, and certainly keeping her family in our thoughts and prayers, and also law enforcement investing the case this morning.
We're actually going to be speaking to one of her friends a little later on, right here on Morning in America. There are a number of reports out now that nations hostile to the U.S. are using the war between Israel and Hamas as a way to bolster their military campaigns and propaganda. We're talking about Iran, Russia, China, and others issuing new arms deals and trade agreements. Emily Finn is here right now. These are global relationships with leaders who appear to be emboldened since this conflict.
That's absolutely correct, Adrienne. As the war between Israel and Hamas rages on, the U.S. military is monitoring these new provocative actions by China and Russia specifically. New video from the Philippines shows large Chinese ships surrounding a much smaller Filipino boat. One of them even bumped into the vessel. Both Beijing and Manila blame each other for the incident in the South China Sea. Now, the U.S. was quick to take sides with our Southeast Asian ally, with National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan promising support. Any conflict between China and the Philippines poses the potential for U.S. involvement because of a mutual defense treaty. Meanwhile, Russia says it will use hypersonic missiles to patrol the Black Sea. Russian President Vladimir Putin says he's responding due to the U.S. ramping up its involvement in both Ukraine and the Eastern Mediterranean. Putin has claimed these missiles are unstoppable, but Ukraine has used American-made equipment to shoot them down. Russia is also using the fighting in Ukraine and Israel to solidify their ties with Iran. Today, Russia's foreign minister is in Tehran, stating that there is an emphasis on continuing to build a partnership between the two nations. Sergei Lavrov accuses the U.S. of not offering any new ideas to stop fighting in Gaza and Israel.
The United States is already at the forefront of those already intervening. This includes sending 2 aircraft carrier groups and several thousand combat soldiers, as I understand it, with all the necessary weapons, including heavy weapons, to the conflict zone. And the more such proactive steps there are on the part of, by and large, any state, the higher the risk, the higher the danger that the conflict will escalate.
This meeting comes as Iran has been providing weapons to Russia for its war in Ukraine. Officials in the U.S. say today's meeting not only poses risk to the fighting there, but also in Israel and groups that Iran supports.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.